Time's up. A little bit of a Black Clover manga reference, probably the last I'm going to get to do, but obviously, I'm sure you lot have seen it if you've been following Black Clover Mobile, but they have now announced the end of service starting, I believe, on August 20th and also August 21st for global. They're going to be shutting down the service for the game where there's going to be no offline version, so the game is just completely gone. And yeah, it's a little bit sad to see, especially because if you don't know me, really love Black Clover. It is literally my favorite anime. I mean, literally we have not the craziest one right now, we have the Sekirei Funko. You saw early on as well, we had the Nero little coffee mug. You can kind of see it, but I got a custom mouse mat made. Like, I literally designed it myself a little bit with the actual, like, loading screen we got for Black Clover. So that's, like, my only thing I can remember Black Clover for, my mouse mat. And in terrible timing too, but I also bought this Sekirei statue, which I think I pre-ordered like a year and a half ago now. Literally when this game was alive and well, and then now it's finally coming. But you know, I kind of say all that a little bit to say, yo, I really like Black Clover. This was giving me my ride or die game a little bit. If you even, I could probably find a clip actually about what I say in my first ever video on this channel, where I literally said this. Are new and you want to watch some Black Clover content from someone who's not going to quit the game after a month, then definitely do subscribe. Hopefully I found it, but it's something on the lines of, yo, if you want to watch Black Clover Mobile content, subscribe towards the channel because we're going to be here until the end. And hey, here we are, right? Obviously, we did take a little bit of a break-ish, like for like 8 months. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't keep them all properly, but there's a few reasons, and actually I made a video, but I never actually uploaded it, about why I stopped doing Black Clover Mobile content. Not actually stopped playing the game. I did obviously, like I said, drop it after Sekirei came out, which is funny enough what I did for the old Black Clover game, Phantom Nights, where Sekirei dropped, and then boom, they got the end of service soon after it. But I think one bad thing about Black Clover Mobile is that we never, because I think the last 2 characters coming are going to be from the movie, the Princia and Edward, I think his name is right. And yeah, no Zagrid. That is probably the most heartbreaking thing about this game, is that we never got to see Zagrid in a beautiful HD model. Never mind the artwork. We never made it towards the actual Spade arc. We got to see so many cool characters. Time to go Asta. Granted, we do see their models in the actual Sword of the Wizard King actual event, so we can kind of get some hope about how they would have looked and played a little bit in game. But like, my biggest thing, and one of the things I loved about Black Clover Mobile, was just making fun of those. All the artwork is sick. I mean, literally, some my mouse mat, I got the actual, all the artwork for the card arts, or I guess the skill pages, and this character was so peak, man. I loved it. But let's talk about kind of what went wrong and why I kind of stopped uploading the game. And, you know, as a big Black Clover fan like myself, why did I stop? So the first thing was actually pretty simple. They removed universal dupes. That really, I think, hurt it for me, because universal dupes, I think I've come to the conclusion, are terrible for gacha games. I know it sounds stupid, because why wouldn't you want to be able to dupe out characters for free, right? But because the game is giving out universal dupes, and that's a part of the core part of the game, they're expecting you to get every character, or at least every character you want to use, towards 5-star. And because of that, I just couldn't showcase characters. Every single character that came out, they removed them, right? Season 10, they removed them from your monthlies, and they stopped doing the world boss match, so you couldn't even get them. It was terrible, right? Like, I was summoning, and obviously, remember, when I was uploading the game or stopped uploading the game, this wasn't meant to be my final video. I summoned for Fagolion. I would have showcased him, like how every festival character. But then when I summoned for Fagolion, I got 1 skill page, 1 copy of the character, and I have like 3 universal dupes. I couldn't use him. Then Lumiere came out. Got him once. I think I got him twice, actually. Once again, couldn't use him because I couldn't get him towards 5-star. Same for Sekirei. So that was the main reason why I couldn't upload the game, because not only could I not summon for every character because the game was very expensive, and when you're someone who wants to cover the content on the game, not only were the views not there because the game fell off drastically at that point, I wasn't making money enough to cover the game, at least off YouTube ad revenue. The free resources that we get a little bit weren't helpful because I just couldn't show, like, I don't want to showcase a character at 1-star. It's not their full power. It was terrible, right? And it also as well was the partner program. If you don't know, there was a partner program for us, obviously Black Clover Mobile, where they used to give us gems. It was a little bit inconsistent, never properly. It was terrible. I don't think I can go into detail, but it's based off how much viewership or how much views you got, which is the worst idea possible. I said that from day one. Before I think the game even came out, saying, guys, change this, fix this. When we're in partner programs for other games, like for Grand Cross, for example, they give us enough to summon every single banner, plus more. Just for uploading 2 videos a month. And I think I remember them giving me like 4K, enough for like 2 multis, like per month. Like, it's not helping. Like, especially at the time, granted, it was a lot of content creators when the game first came out, and I get that. You know, the tier list and dippers, we call them, where they just upload a game for the first month while the views are hot, move on towards the next gacha game because they don't actually care about the game, right? So towards like the half anniversary, even like a few months in towards the game, there was only like 5 of us uploading the game. They could have supported us even more. That's just, once again, the reason why I stopped uploading the game, because I just couldn't keep up, right? Which is impossible. But once again, the outcome still would have been the same. The game still would have been shutting down on August 20th. So what was the reasons? At least I probably fell out of love with the game a little bit, and I think people hated about the game was probably the gear system. Gear system was it did not need to be this complicated. Is it complicated? Not really, but I think before on the beta, there were more pieces and salary pieces to where you could do more stuff with the actual slots, but now everyone's kind of doing the exact same thing. Also, they added the accessories, but like the Awaken version where you have to spend $200 a month to get 1 copy of them, which made the game super pay to win. You just couldn't play it. You just generally couldn't keep up with Wales. The gap between Wales and free-to-play was generally unreal, and it was all because of the gear system. The drop rates from LRs from the beta towards the live version of the game was nerfed drastically. Granted, over time, it was fine. It weren't that bad. But I think by the time they got to that point, a lot of people left the game by then. And of course, the main thing was just, 1, characters and meaningful content. What I mean by characters is pretty simple, is literally just certain characters never got added. I think they kind of missed a little bit with seasonal characters. I do really like what they did, where the seasonal characters are from the actual manga. So like Ceremony Charlotte and pretty much the school characters are all from like the little color spreads that Yuki Tabata, the author of Black Clover, does actually make. So that was very, very cool. I like that. But the fact they had to do seasons every month was, I think, the killer, because they were forcing seasonals. So the most of the content we got was seasonal characters, and we missed important characters like how did we not get Ladros? Like Black Asta and Ladros should have been 2 of the main characters we got during the celebration of obviously Black Asta. We never got Farnzel. There's like actually still quite a few characters in the story mode that you can verse to have animations that just never became like even SRs. But of course, like I did say, the main thing was just meaningful content. When there's nothing to do in the game other than bot PvP, people are going to not play the game. And I think, generally speaking, that's just the main cusp of the problem, right? I think most of the creators that like were in the community a little bit would kind of agree like that Vic Game Studio kind of moved on towards another project, that they put more effort towards that game and kind of just let this game to kind of die a little bit, if that makes sense. Because all we got were the random world bosses that like, they're not like meaningful content. You do it 3 times a day. There weren't like any like road-like adventure you can do. Sure, there was some tower trial stuff a little bit, but there was just nothing. Generally speaking, there was just nothing to do other than doing your farming, your gear, which is a problem in itself. It got to a point where, yeah, people were just bored of the game. I know it's kind of coming off that I'm complaining a lot about the game, but how could you not, right? The game's shutting down, but like, man, like, bro, you lot don't understand. Like, I woke up during COVID. Literally, my first video I made reacted to the trailer. I called it My Dreams Do Come True. You lot don't understand that. This is the game I've wanted. This is what I manifested in a way. I literally remember the day it came out. I was in bed sleeping. They showed it during the night in the UK time, so obviously I didn't get to watch it. And I woke up to my brother standing right next to me. It looked at me dead in the eye saying, bro, you've won. You've just got a new Black Clover gacha game, and it actually looks really, really good. I followed it from the first initial concept of the game. But, you know, I said this about the last Black Clover gacha game, and that was Phantom Knights, where I said, I'm glad it's ending, because Black Clover deserves better. And now that the game finally shut down, we can finally get a new one. And, well, we did. We got Black Clover Mobile. And unfortunately, it wasn't the game we deserved, or at least it was what we deserved a little bit, but it wasn't handled with care. So now that this game is shutting down, maybe now the IP or license can move on towards another studio where they can put more love and care into it. I don't want to say like love and care, because like the art team was so good. Even behind the scenes, like the little dev communications we had, the Peter, like shout out to Peter. The people were nice, at least at Garena, I think so. I think it was more towards Vic Game Studio. I think it was the throwers. But yeah, man, it's tragic, bro. I don't really know what else to say, you know. I guess at this point, I'll just kind of talk to you guys. I want to say thank you. Obviously, I wasn't the biggest person. I wasn't the most active person when it comes towards this game a little bit. At least comparable to the freaks like Geeko and Anfo. They used to upload like 4 or 5 times a day, bro. But I do generally appreciate a lot of support of me when I did upload the game. Especially considering that I was like in between 2 different channels. I was like, okay, I gotta make a new one. The support like when the first video was insane. Like I do remember saying that even if I get terrible views, like even if the game's just dead, I would still upload it. Of course, I didn't keep to my word, but more so because I explained already, like I just couldn't upload the game. I would still be doing it, and really enjoyed it. Like I said, the tournament was really fun. Shout out to Garena for allowing me to actually commentate towards the tournament. That was like one of the best experiences I've ever had. Stressed though. I just hope next time when we get our next Black Clover game, 3rd time's the charm, we can get a one we deserve, right? Also kind of funny though. I've kind of showcased it already, but if you log in now, you get like 100k gems, which is crazy. Like I said, I'm super grateful we got all like the crazy artwork that we can still keep and look at, and obviously we're using it and probably likely in the next Black Clover game when that comes out. But in terms of what's next for this channel, I'm gonna give this a go, depending on the timing, because obviously Origin will probably likely be coming out, if not around the same time as this. Hopefully not. Hopefully there's a gap between both of them. But yeah, for me, obviously, I only like playing actual like anime gacha games. I don't really care about the Genshin, the Weather and Waves, or the ethereal one. I don't know what it's called. I like playing gacha games that I know the actual characters. And I think for me, the biggest one, at least the one that I'm looking forward to a little bit, is Kaiju number 8, which is looking like to be kind of Black Clover mobile-esque in a way. But that's actually, to be not a compliment. But like 3D style, gameplay-wise, I think it is a little bit like turn-based in the same style of Black Clover. A little more complicated, of course. But it's got like a PC launch, so you know, like they have like support and like actual like confidence in it. Where Black Clover Mobile never got a PC port, which I think was kind of a clear sign from the beginning that they yeah, didn't have full confidence in it. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and I still have my main channel, BeachPH, my where I upload 70s to Origin, 70s to Adult Adventure, 70s to Grand Cross. This is my 70s channel. So thank you for watching, and yeah.